If the sweetest love stories you've ever read got turned into an Otome game, its name would be Hanakare to and Bloom, or Him, His Smile and Bloom. This jam is the Otome game adaptation of a dramaCD series, and brings these flowery love stories to the West with a simultaneous English release. And I can recommend this game to every helpless romantic, like me, who, after having completed 60 Otome games, is still craving for more, and to my very surprise, Hanakare gave me all I wanted. As Hanakare is the Otome game adaptation of a dramaCD series, its setup is quite peculiar. There are 4 Hanakare dramaCDs with 4 different guys, who all work in a flower shop and tell their love story. Thus in the game we actually have 4 different heroines, now sharing their point of view of how they get together with the LI. And this is going to be a sweet and steamy story. So this game has 4 routes which are all totally independent from each other, except that all the cute guys who work in this very flower shop. Seriously, tell me where it is, I want to go there! And it turns out, it actually exists. And sometimes they do collaborations. That means you can start with any guy you like. I think Wataru is a good entry point into the series, if you don't know much about the characters and setting yet. While the heroine of Wataru's love story, Serina, already works in this gorgeous flower shop, she meets Wataru on a fateful day of the Tanabata festival of the town, where she grants him shelter from the sudden heavy rain. But soon it's not only the raindrops that fall, but also Wataru's tears as he found out his girlfriend cheated on him. For some reason, Serina can't bear seeing Wataru sad and tries to cheer him up with flowers, wishing him luck in his future relationships. And by this little, yet meaningful gesture, Wataru is moved so much that he decides to also work at the flower shop. But of course, it's not only the flowers that touched his heart. Honestly, I find this setup a bit peculiar, picking up a crying guy who just split up with his girlfriend and then falls head over heels for the heroine. But considering Wataru's sweet puppy dog-like character, this little flaw can easily be overlooked. His character represents the younger boyfriend trope, as he's still in university and thus slightly younger than the heroine. And with that, I think you already feel the dramaCD origins, as I think we rarely have this kind of trope in the West. But for dramaCD, it's a pretty standard situation. But that is maybe also why I couldn't quite warm up to their love story. Well, Wataru felt like Cupid Parasite Gil on steroids, not only because they shared the same voice actor, but also because of their undying love for their chosen one. And at the same time, I felt that the heroine was a bit too timid in contrast to this overbearing Wataru. What sometimes made me wonder if she really reciprocates his feeling that intensely. Another flaw of the route, in my opinion, is that within the 5 hours, they tell a love story about more than 2 years, which made it feel rushed, and I couldn't quite keep up with the pacing. Sometimes it was just described that they got closer, but I didn't always feel like I took part in their love development. But that can also just be because I don't typically like the younger boyfriend character trope. If you like the idea, though, of a younger, slightly childish, yet vigorous boyfriend you can take care of, there will be no one more loving than Wataru. Another, not less peculiar fellow is Tenya. You don't see him often in other routes, and judging by his voice he just seems sleepy and disinterested in other people. But this impression couldn't be more deceptive. Behind this monotonous voice you might know from Edward in Miss Tonya or Kasuga in Variable Barricade, and behind his poker face is a passionate, loyal and caring boyfriend hidden. His love turns toward Miku, a self-conscious girl who tends to prioritize the needs of others over herself. His character is difficult to describe for me, as I don't think I have met anyone like him before. He seems cold, but he's such a passionate man. Their love story also has aspects of bad boy falling in love with good cute girl, and I absolutely adore this trope. It's seriously one of my favorites. And to see how Tenya makes Miku open up, like tending to a fragile flower, and see them grow together, was so moving for me to witness. All their interactions are so gentle and heartwarming, they quickly became one of my favorite couples in the game. Hokuto and Fuka grew up together and have been inseparable ever since. They spend as much time as they can together, and Hokuto developed the habit of always worrying about Fuka and always rescuing her out of any predicament. People around them might think they are a couple, but they are indeed not yet. It seems that Fuka is hopelessly in love, but Hokuto doesn't see more in her than a sister, and thus she fights throughout their route to make him see her as a woman. I guess you can say this is a typical childhood friend conflict. But for me, they took the realizing your feelings trope a bit too far and made the route feel even dragging at times, as Hokuto just wouldn't admit his feelings until the last chapters. And that really got on my nerves. Can't they just be happy together? Nevertheless, when they finally get together, they have some of the hottest making out scenes in the game. And for them alone, this game could be a pseudo D, which means ages 17 and up ranking. They took a long time to get together and have to make up for this by making out more. And his after story features one of the wildest sentences I've ever read in a non-R18 Otome game. Though I didn't like Hokuto's character personally, as he just was too reluctant to simply accept her feelings, I can't complain about the amount of steaminess in his route. And all fans of his voice actor you might know from Alan in Cupid Parasite or Jack in Tengoku Struggle can rejoice. If you like the childhood friend or older brother trope, Hokuto is the best overprotective Nissan in the world. Gin, or Ginosuke. He is called the Prince of the Flower Shop, as girls tend to fall head over heels for his beautiful face, and he drives the most sales with his charming smile. And something similar happened to our heroine Ami when he delivered flowers to her office 2 years ago and cheered her up with his caring words. But as she gets hired as an interior designer to remodel the flower shop, she quickly finds out the prince character is not more than a facade, and behind is a mean, straightforward bully who treats girls as toys. But exactly this side of him admires Ami, as she recognizes his devotion for flowers and to make customers in the flower shop smile. Can her one-sided love be fulfilled by someone who has never truly loved before? Girls, this man is dangerous. The heroine as well knows she shouldn't fall in love with him, but she can't help it. And who can blame her? I as well fell quickly in love with his teasing and his sharp tongue. And Ami doesn't let herself be bullied, but punches back verbally, what makes for entertaining banters the way I love it and the way we see it just too rarely in Otome games. I can't remember the last time a character made me feel real butterflies. With one of the best voice actors you might know from Koyo in 9 Rib or Yona in Tengoku Struggle. Or Lucas in Miss Tonya. This man is dangerous, but in the best sense of the word. If you love flirt characters or teasing characters, I'm sure he will conquer your heart in no time. And he's the character I bought the dramaCD for, because I just couldn't get enough. The dramaCDs are from the perspective of the LIs, and might start after they got together. The game, on the other hand, is told from the perspective of the heroines, and starts before they get together. So you will encounter the familiar scenarios from the dramaCD, but also of course a lot of new scenarios in the game. As the dramaCDs are a bit more than 1 hour long, but the routes in the game are 5 hours long, the game obviously tells the more detailed story. Nevertheless, as both adaptations tell the story from a different perspective, there will be new aspects to discover no matter if you listen to the voice drama or if you've played the game before. But you definitely don't need to listen to the dramaCDs before you play the game. For me, the dramaCDs are now a bit like a fan disc, as we do sometimes get the male point of view in the fan disc as well. It's not exactly new content, especially as you know the scenes from the game, but it still is a different experience hearing all his thoughts about her. And I now really want every game to have a dramaCD with the LI's perspective, to take him on the go and hear his thoughts on the events. You might already guess, but this game is as sweet as it can get and even features some steamy moments. Every route tells the tremendously sweet and romantic love story in a flower shop that is tender like the flowers themselves. As a slice of life story, there is no overarching plot outside their love story. Each heroine especially has a conflict to overcome, has to grow watered by the love of the LIs. But these conflicts are relatively minor and won't weigh too heavy on your soul. I personally felt rather light and just blissfully happy after having played the game. The characters and their love is so sweet and tender, touching and even implying meaningful messages. Each route is associated with a flower, and each character is very distinct. Each love development will feel unique and special, and you're sure to find a dynamic that suits your taste. From protective childhood friend to teasing banters. At the same time, the game expects you to fall in love with the characters yourself, So if you don't like a specific trope, the enjoyment of the route will probably be diminished. And this will now come as a surprise from someone like me, but I maybe even wouldn't have needed the steamy scenes, as their love was already so satisfying. Nevertheless, I of course very highly do appreciate the steamy scenes, the moans of the amazing voice actors, and the raunchy illusions. The most steamy routes were Gin and Hokuto in my opinion, closely followed by Tenya, while Wataru didn't make me blush personally. And while the steaminess makes the romance more mature seeming, the game is indeed about first loves. Especially the heroines often don't have any previous romantic experience, so you'll witness typical insecurities when it comes to your first love. Each route has 3 endings, 2 good ones, one with a CG, and a bad end with a CG. And the bad ends really hit hard. Of course they stay slice of life and nothing gruesome happens, but they are so tragic and emotional, and even twisted. They will be a joy for every bad end connoisseur and a heartbreak for every lover. But the steamy after stories make more than up for the heartbreak, and will make you blush and scream. As flowery as their blooming love, as flowery is the art in the game. The leading artist you might know from Cupid Parasite or 9-Rip, and the art in Hanakare is not less enchanting. All the CGs are very romantic, and most of them feature a flower motif fitting for the game. For some reason, only some steamy CGs didn't feel as appealing to me as all the other flowery artworks. The music is modern and simple, it's the same like in the dramaCDs, and the background art is beautiful, flowery, detailed. The character sprites even have multiple outfits, which makes this game a treat not only for the heart, but also for the eyes. And because of the amazing voice actors, it's also a treat for the ears, as you can listen to the voice lines even after you've advanced the text. And I only wish they'd also call the heroines by their name, but overall the art is nothing short of enchanting. Hanakare is one of the rare cases where a game gets a simultaneous release in Japanese and English, and you can switch the language on the title screen but not while you're playing a scene. The Japanese is definitely beginner friendly, and not as flowery as one might expect. While it's not the easiest game overall, I think it still would be a good choice as your first Japanese Otome game, as they use standard language and no weird kanji. Each route has up to 15 chapters, so each are on the shorter side, which makes it easy for learners to take a break or maybe to set a goal to read 1 chapter a day. And after you've finished a chapter, you can go to the title screen and replay it in English to make sure you got everything right. An almost perfect upper beginner game, in my opinion. The English localization is also good, considering it's Mintlib's first game and first localization. While it sometimes can be a bit rough around the edges, the overall quality of the localization is pretty good, I say. And I especially like the interpretation of Tenya. So no matter which language you choose, you're sure to enjoy the game. And as the game took its topic seriously, you'll also be fluent in flower language after having completed the game. You'll not only learn a language, but also about flowers quite a bit. And if this review convinced you to get the game, feel free to use my affiliate links, or even become a patron to watch my reviews first, or get help on learning Japanese. Hanakare is for everyone who enjoys a sweet, but also steamy slice-of-life love story that doesn't overstay its welcome. While 5 hours is a good duration for a route, with 4 LIs, the game is on the shorter side, and might have a bit of a steep price point in that regard. But for me, criticizing the shortness of a game is actually a compliment for the game, as I would have wanted more. And I want more. I'd happily buy a continuation, be it dramaCDs or an actual FD. But as I don't have that yet, I ended up buying some merch. Let me show you. Okay, so in Stellar Worth, I get this little baby. Isn't he beautiful? Look at his face. And they had a really nice photo booth where you could take pictures with your characters. They have message cards and little pictures with the characters. And in the Animate, you can get cookies, coffee, and a coaster. I spent a very happy, flowery day with Gin. The game is like its setting. Sweet, flowery, light, poetic, romantic. One of the rare cases of a slice of life setting without overarching plot and without corny drama. That still keeps the player engaged, rooting for the love of these two. Rarely have I seen the game that focuses solely on the love development. but still touches your heart so profoundly, makes the characters feel so real, and your heart flutter like you're in love for the first time yourself. A beautiful, light and happy game that features love story as colorful and tender as the flowers they represent. And as all our tastes are different, you're still sure to find a character that will make your love blossom for him all over. In that regard, this game is as sweet as Akuyako Reijo is. This time it's a manga turned into an Otome game you definitely need to play if you need some more sweetness in your Otome life.